We're Castor Bones Collective, the latest guest on Portugal, the Simple Life podcast.
Welcome back, or welcome to another episode of Portugal, the Simple Life, and I'm really excited to be joined here by Castor Bones Collective, Seth, John, and Greg. Guys, thank you for being on the podcast. Thank you for doing this.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We had to do a bit of coordination, but we all got here in the end. And it's your girlfriend's studio.
Yeah.
Tell us where we're sitting. Right now.
We're at Atelier Ghostbirds.
Okay.
And she does shows. You know, she changes shows up every month or so, and tries to showcase local artists. And
Amazing.
Printmaking is her specialty, which you can come back here, you can see all kinds of cool printmaking machines and materials. Yeah, she's good.
Awesome. And we're in Caldas.
Yeah,
We're in Caldas.
this is located near the train station in Caldas.
In Caldas da Rainha. Why don't we start off telling us a bit about yourselves, left to right? Greg, go ahead.
Yeah, I grew up in the Bay Area of California, moved to Oregon, and I spent many years there before I moved here about a year and a half ago. Been playing music since I was like 20, so, you know, a long time. But very happy to be here now. And I came here mostly looking for surf. I'm a surfer.
Okay.
But then I just found this culture and this really cool town, especially Caldas, and I'm very fortunate. Feel very fortunate. And good friends.
And good friends. John?
Yeah, so I'm born and raised in New Hampshire in the United States also, but lived my adult life on the West Coast, Portland, Oregon, San Francisco, Seattle, and then moved to Portugal a year and a half ago into Caldas with my family. I have my wife, we had one child, and then we had another child just about 1 month ago. So I'm a little
tired.
Little tired, trying to figure out how to do kind of the basic necessities. Like I haven't showered in a little while. Sorry, guys.
We didn't notice.
Yeah.
We didn't notice. We're good.
But yeah, I'm really happy to have another kid with us, and yeah, a lot of joy and also a lot of exhaustion in our life right now.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
For me, I also grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area, and then lived most of my life there, and then we moved to Mexico for a little while to try out living in a different country, and then we moved to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for just a few months to try that out. Didn't like all the snow, and the city, it was hard to get around in, and then we moved to in Oregon, in a town called Corvallis, which is about an hour south of Portland. So it's funny that Greg and I both lived in the San Francisco Bay Area. Then when we both lived in Oregon, we lived about 45 minutes away from each other.
So we were.
But never met
until we moved all the way across.
And how long have you been here for?
I've been here for almost 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And all three of you met each other here?
Yeah.
So didn't know each other
Actually,
before.
we met John in this studio.
Yeah, they were playing a show right over here last Caldas late night, so about a little over a year ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just the two of them, and they played a show, and I came to see that show, and I really liked their music. Seth writes fantastic original songs, has a great voice. The two of them sounded really good together. They played covers of bands that I really enjoyed. Radiohead and others, and so I watched that show and I was like, oh, these guys are great, I want to play music with them. I've played in a couple other bands back in the US, but I hadn't played with anyone for quite a while at that point, and so I approached them after the show and sort of introduced myself and said that I was a musician, and I was feeling really nervous about it because they were both really good, and so I kind of like told them I played music. I was like, you guys, if you ever want to play music together, let me know. And then I left that interaction, and I went to my wife and I said, I don't think that went very well. But then now here I am, so I think it did go well after all.
Still in your trial period.
Yeah, a year later.
How's it going? How's the tribe? I think it's going well.
Yeah.
I heard you guys the other day. Yeah. So you know the series How I Met Your Mother? So like you guys could do a series How I Met Your Band, How I Met Our Band, or something like that. You know, could be good. We'll come a bit more to the band and everything, but for each one of you, how did you end up here? You know, when everybody thinks about Portugal, they think Lisbon, they think sort of the more hot spots in inverted commas, Algarve. Caldas is a little bit off the beaten track, but we all know sitting at the table what a cool city it is. But how did that happen for each of you?
Yeah, when I first came, probably 3 years ago, we were just exploring, just seeing what every town looked like, what the climates were. And I had a friend living nearby in São Martinho de Porto, and he let me stay there. So my home base for my first kind of exploration period was there.
Yeah.
And we liked Lisbon, we loved Porto, we loved Aveiro, everything in between. Something about this place, and being that Mika is an artist, this place has that artistic flair, that artistic feel to it. For me, being a surfer, it has the proximity to the beach, and this climate is just wonderful.
Yeah, similar to what you would have been used to on the West Coast, right?
But something about walking through Don Carlos Park, and I'm like, man, this place. Yeah, so
Where's your local surf beach? Which one do you like to go?
I usually surf. Oh man, my playground starts at Foz do Aurelio down to Areia Branca, so there's just so many spots.
Yeah,
I hit them all, depending on where it's good. But that's nice to have all that right at my doorstep, pretty much.
Yeah. And for you?
Yeah, so for us, I came to do an exploration trip when my wife was in her third trimester with our first child. And so while you were in a kind of an art mindset, I was in kind of a family mindset, I think, when I came. And so I visited 6 different cities on this trip, including Lisbon, Coimbra, Setúbal. And when I came to Caldas, it was during the fruit festival that was happening in Dom Carlos Park. And so I drove into the city and I was like, I don't really know anything about this place. And I was like, oh, there's something happening. It looks like there's a park here. There's some people in there. And so I parked my car and walked in, and it was just this glorious scene of food vendors and families walking around and music playing, and there was a kids karate performance happening, and I was like, wow, this is a paradise here. And so just seeing that, it made me feel like it would be a really good place for our kind of growing family at that point.
So when you came the first time, was the idea to find a place to move to?
Oh yeah.
And for you it was the same as well?
Yeah, that's right.
But you came with the responsibility of finding a place that's going to be good for my wife and my future child.
My wife and I had planned a trip together in the first trimester of her pregnancy, and then there was a big COVID spike, and so we decided to cancel that trip. And then we planned another one for the second trimester, and then COVID was still happening at that point in a really big way in Portugal, and so we canceled that one. And so then she was in her third trimester, she was like, I shouldn't travel, but you should just go on your own and do it for us. So I took a lot of videos and sent them to her, and kind of...
No pressure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And the veteran of Portugal out of the band?
And we had no exploratory trips. We just sold our house, sold almost everything we owned, put it on a pallet, and then came here. And
to Caldas straight away?
Yeah, to Caldas straight away. But we had already been researching for years, from the moment we heard about Portugal, because we were already planning on leaving the United States. It was just a matter of where to go. And we were thinking about going to Ecuador because that's where my mom's from, and I could get citizenship there. But then I was talking to our landlord who we had become friends with in Oakland, which is near San Francisco. And he was also doing the same thing, sold his place in Oakland and was moving around, trying to find a place to live. And he said, oh, you should check out Portugal. And so I knew nothing about Portugal, started watching these YouTube videos. And so once we were like, yeah, that does look pretty nice. Being in Europe, much more stable than South America. Sure. Ecuador has its challenges politically and violence-related stuff like that. So we decided, we think this is going to be a better choice than Ecuador, and just started watching videos. Like we were watching videos for hours every day. Like, okay, done with work, done with dinner, watch videos, and like watch 2-3 hours of videos, just all these different YouTube channels. So it's like we had already seen the park, knew the layout of the park before we even got here, and it was just 2 years before we got here. We didn't take a trip to check it out. We're just like, even if we don't like this place, we know that we don't want to stay in the United States, so we'll just move somewhere else.
Yeah.
And when we're over there, it's going to be a lot easier to go to other countries if we don't like Portugal.
Yeah.
But we ended up really loving it. And even when we landed here, we had to get the apartment, and we still went and explored other areas. But, climate is a big thing here. It's very moderate. It'll be super hot in Lisbon, and you come here, and it's not unbearably hot.
Yeah.
It's very moderate climate. I really love Braga, but my wife didn't want all the rain. We had a lot of rain in Oregon. And so
Braga in the winters.
Yeah,
miserable.
Braga winter rains a lot, and then it gets hotter than here too.
Yeah.
So I've always lived by the coast, and I found that living by the coast kind of gives you that more
the moderator.
Yeah. So we love it here. It's it's not the cleanest city. We've been to a lot of other cities in Portugal that are a lot cleaner and much more, probably because they're more targeted towards tourists. This really isn't that much of a tourist city, but it's got this like my Portuguese teacher said, it's like a blue collar town, like artists and blue collar workers, and you just get this experience that you can't get in a more like touristy area.
Yeah.
So
I really like that it's not on the tourist track.
Yeah.
It's like Óbidos is close by. All the tourists go there, and it's like a little magnet over there, and nobody comes here, and so it feels much more authentic.
Yeah, but if you speak to Portuguese people anywhere and you say, I live in Caldas, they know about Caldas.
Yeah.
There is amongst the Portuguese, it's quite well known because of the ceramics and the art and Bordalo.
Yeah.
And in terms of kind of how you able to stay here, you're all on doing the various visa D7s and things like that. Is that how you guys are all? Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's all been okay, smooth-ish. Takes a while.
It was very challenging, and it was a challenging process to say the least. I mean, definitely there's a lot of stress. Even when our stuff was getting shipped here, we still hadn't been approved. It also depends on where you apply from. So we lived on the West Coast, so we have to go to San Francisco. The process, I'm sure, has completely changed by now. But like you had to, if you lived on the West Coast, you had to physically go to San Francisco, even if you lived
the embassy there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that was a headache. And then of course it's like, oh, we'll have it done in X amount of time. It was not done in X amount of time. We had to move our flight multiple times. My wife was approved and I wasn't approved, even though she was financially dependent on me. And all our stuff was getting shipped here. So there was a point where we were here and we were like, we're going to run out of time. We might need to look at living in a different country. Even if we have to go live there for 3 months and wait for this to get figured out. But thankfully, like 2 months into staying here on our tourist visa, they finally said, okay, you've been approved. So we had to fly back to the United States, get passport stamped and come back.
You had to fly back because you've been approved, but you had to fly back and then come back.
It has to be
so
stamped
that's
there.
changed now.
Oh, is that right?
You get approved here and.
So it was challenging, very stressful, and very much like, I don't know. So once you get through that all, now we're at a new hurdle, which is we can't travel anywhere except really to the United States and come back because Portugal, our residency visas have expired. Mine expired in January. I know of other people whose expired in September. So, it's getting to the point where there's some people I think even expired in August that's like, it's been expired for a year and we're still waiting for
the new one
for IMA to extend it. So finally now the process, it seems like they're going to start moving back to online because they went away from online, which is a problem. But it's a challenge. Living in Portugal for sure is a challenge when it comes to bureaucracy in terms of things like this, which I just don't think we have in the United States. Like if they say it's going to be done within this amount of time, it will be done. They'll give you an answer. Maybe you're not going to be approved, but they'll tell you no or yes. But you're not going to be. You're always kind of hanging out, waiting. Just be patient. As sometime it's going to happen.
Well, my buddy that moved here a few years before me.
Yeah.
When I was talking, hey man, I'm coming. I can't. the biggest thing that he taught me was patience. You're going to learn patience. If you don't have it yet, you need to get it.
Yeah.
And when you get there, you're going to learn patience. And if you are, if you can do that, and then not let these, we're going to be in that same boat. I know when our permit, expires and we have to get the next one. But right now we're able to travel, so we'll travel while we can. But I'm so happy to be here. It's like, it's hard, but man, to me, it's like worth it. But it is, you do need to be patient about these processes.
I think it's both patience and sort of feeling zen about ambiguity, because often the requirements aren't clear. Like, I remember
definitely not clear.
Even for the visa, like there was no one place where I could go to see like this is exactly what you need to qualify. And so when you don't have that, you get all this hearsay. People are saying all kinds of different things, and there's no one source of truth, so you don't know what is true. So you have to just kind of.
Were you using anybody to help you with that stuff, or were you kind of doing it all direct?
We did it ourselves.
Yeah, so then the ambiguity is even at another level, because someone's telling you, look, it's going to be fine, and you're like, okay, but when? You know? Yeah.
Actually, I take that back. We were doing it ourselves, and we thought that would be fine, but then at the very end, we found out about another family who had a very similar like financial and social situation to us, who was denied, and so we got kind of freaked out, and so then we hired someone to review our application, and she had us change the way we did it a little bit. So we did end up needing help in the end to kind of clarify some of the requirements.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, what's kind of happened for all three of you, and maybe it's different for all three back home, that's kind of brought you to a place where you're thinking, we want to move. And we want to move to Portugal. I mean, because like you said, it's quite a daunting process. You did it without even visiting the place. There's the visa stuff, which can be frustrating, and the bureaucracy that can be frustrating. But like you said, it's worth it. It's been worth it. But what's happened before that's pushed you to make the move?
Yeah, well, I don't know. First of all, I would also say that there's a statistic out there, and I don't know the numbers, but it ain't for everybody. A lot of Americans, a lot of expats do end up moving back.
Yeah.
I've found that being here a little over a year and a half, that I have zero regrets and I'm very happy here. But that's not everybody's experience. I think it's interesting that we're meeting on Independence Day.
Yeah, happy 4th of July. Yeah.
And
we were recording this on 4th of July.
Things about independence in the United States that are changing, and why that might be one of my motivations for being here. It's not what it used to be. So I'm very grateful to be here right now with all that's going on in the United States. It's a very sad situation over there.
Yeah.
So I'm just blessed to be here. Yeah.
I would say for us, a big motivator was the fact that we were about to have our first child, and we heard stories of, we had friends who had older children in the US, and I remember talking to one of my coworkers who had an older kid, and she was talking about the active shooter drills that she has to do with her kid, that their kid has to go through at school. They have to learn about what happens if a shooter comes into your school.
Bad guy drills, right? I think they call them bad guy drills.
And I just remember thinking that this is just ridiculous and crazy and sad that kids have to be exposed to this kind of fear and uncertainty and violence, potential violence. So I think that was a big motivator for us. Another thing for me is I think I've felt at various times in my life a little bit like I'm on a certain track, and it's this very, I can kind of see kind of where it's headed, and it's very predictable, and I have this desire to break out of that track. It happened when I was between high school and college. I took a gap year, and I didn't want to go right into college. I wanted to take a gap year and travel around, and in fact I traveled to Spain and not Portugal at that point in my life, because I just felt like the expectation, like the expectations that we all have in our lives, sometimes they harden, and it feels like you're kind of forced in a certain direction. And so I think that was another part of it for me, is I had a career that I was really happy with. I enjoyed a lot of the parts of my work, but I felt like I was being kind of forced in this one direction that I wasn't completely satisfied with. And so it was a way to sort of break out of that and try something new.
For me, I think all the issues can be summarized in the United States. Like, I'm thankful that I was born there, raised there, had a career there, because the United States is great at making money, and it places priority on money over everything else. Safety, family, and it all ties back to this, right? I want to have I don't want you to take away my gun rights, even though it's better for the community if we don't have all these guns. I want to make money off of you being sick, even though it's better for the community that people aren't sick. So it all ties back to this, like me and money over community. And I feel like Portugal is just really about community and less on the money. And for me, it's nice. I know it's a struggle for people who live here if you don't already have money. So that's why I'm saying it's nice that I came from the US, and I recognize that. I'm lucky I came from the US and I got the money while I was there. But then you get here and it's like, okay, now my priorities are not money. My priorities are community. And community and family is just like everything here.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Between my job as a realtor at Portugal Realty and hosting this podcast, life is pretty busy. But lately I've been receiving so many messages from people that want to know more about buying property here on Portugal's Silver Coast that I've got to do something about it. So starting now, for subscribers only, I'm offering up a 30-minute session per day. That's 5 30-minute sessions for a one-on-one meeting to talk about buying property here on Portugal's beautiful Silver Coast. This is for subscribers only. So please subscribe to book your session and get in touch with us through the links below via WhatsApp or email to book your session today. I'll be happy to speak to you. It's for subscribers only and it's completely free. Let's talk about the band. Why is it called Castor Bones Collective?
Oh yeah, so I've had a lot of different bands. I've been playing music pretty much my whole life. And my latest kind of thing, I just came up with my own name for my kind of solo project, which was Castor Bones, because I'd always had bands with other people. So it was Castor Bones, and then I just started playing with Greg. And then, more people joined. We met John, now we've got Bill, who's the drummer. And so we just decided, okay, it shouldn't just be called Castor Bones, it's like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers or whatever, so you gotta have something else. So we just went with Castor Bones Collective,
Well, it felt appropriate. We were playing a lot of your stuff that you were written before.
Yeah.
Now we are starting to kind of come up with originals that we've done together, but it's really, a lot of this, the fun stuff that we play are things that he brought to it. So I felt like let's keep it Castor Bones, but now it's us.
And the meaning behind the name?
I love beaver's my favorite animal. That's Castor is the Latin name, or Portuguese. It's Castor, but it's
Okay.
It's the Latin name is Castor for beaver. And bones, I don't know. Bones sounds cool.
That sounds.
There's no deep meaning at all.
Yeah, so we've got quite a bit of crossover. The four of us. Our kids go to the same daycare, and then we've both performed in Malaika, which is one of the cool bars here in Caldas. But how's it been going? Playing in and around the area, enjoying it? Any good places that you've really enjoyed playing?
Well, we started at Bordalo Cervejaria.
How did you fit in? How did you guys fit in there?
Yeah, well. At first, there wasn't anybody to watch us, so it was fine.
So we're just playing for Paolo and Pedro.
Yeah. So that's actually where I met Greg.
Okay, so you guys met in the bar.
Yeah, we met in the bar. So that's kind of like where it all started. So we love to play there. We haven't played there for a while, but it's fun to play there. And then other bars around here. When I was trying to make something of music in the U.S., I'd always have to travel around and pack up all your stuff and go to gigs, and I'm kind of done with that. So we just is it easy? Is it convenient for us to play? Okay, but we're not trying to, we all have lives going on. We're not trying to become a successful, famous band or something. It's just really a fun thing to do, and I call it kind of like my Zen garden, I do it for me instead of focusing on, I need to get more people to listen to me, I need people to buy my stuff, and then it just becomes a job.
Yeah, I love playing at What the Folk. I think that was one of my favorite places to play so far.
Okay, that's the place I don't know.
It's a great coffee shop.
Nearby here.
It's really close.
It's
2 blocks away.
It's pretty close here to the train station. 3-minute walk at the most. And yeah, they have coffee and ceramics and tattoos there. I forgot a few
They
tattoos.
really want us to specify that they have really good coffee.
Specialty
Coffee.
Yes.
Okay.
Specialty coffee.
Okay, so
And it
for
is-
anybody listening, what the folk, you've got good coffee.
And they've got this great big outdoor patio in the back, and so
Okay.
they set up a sound system out there for Caldas late night, and we played there, and it was just like,
It's such a cool spot. They do
it's
ceramics
awesome.
in there. You can go in there and spin a bowl or learn how to make a cup. Or they've got.
So you can go there, have a cup of coffee,
Yeah, they're
drink
doing
some-
workshops and things. So they
check out some ceramics, get a
Get a
tattoo,
tattoo, yeah.
Get a tattoo.
listen to some music.
Yeah, What the Folk is like our Cheers. That's where we go all the time. Like if you want to find us, we're probably going to be there.
either there or Bordalo.
Yeah, or
I'd say.
Bordalo.
But Bordalo's not as open as often as
Yeah,
What the
true.
Folk.
Sure.
Wednesday, Fridays. That's it for Bordalo.
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought about doing the interview there. That would have been fun over a beer.
Yeah, because
or
that's
something.
where this really started with me meeting Seth over there.
Yeah.
And those guys are great. I mean, like,
Yeah.
just really, really good people. And that's another cool thing about, to me, one of the most, probably the best thing that's happened to me was going to Bordalo, because I wasn't just hanging out with a bunch of expats. You know, and I am trying to work on my Portuguese, and there's a lot of Portuguese people in there, and there's a lot of other, you know, nationalities, and they're Belgian guys, and people from Argentina. I mean, it's a good group, it's a mix, but it's not just all these expats, which is, you know, yeah, I got plenty of expat friends too. That's fine. But I like hanging out with Portuguese people when I'm in Portugal.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned community, and I think in today's world, and I've got my day job is real estate, and I've got clients from all over, from the US, a few from Oregon actually, and from Sweden and from the UK, and what everybody seems to be missing the most is where community is the most important thing. It's almost like everybody's forgotten how to be good neighbors, and you know, whether it's because of financial reasons or political reasons or wars or whatever, everyone's so pissed off and angry with each other, and we've forgotten how to be good to each other. And you feel that when you come here, that people are just good to each other. And Bordalo is a great example because, I mean, I think I've met maybe 4 or 5 different types of nationalities there, but they kind of just come in and they just get into the swing of things. And it's a lot of it's because of the space that the guys have created there and their nature, which is very typical Portuguese. Like, just come and sit down, have a beer, have a chat, have some chips. He's always filling your bowl with crisps or whatever it is. But I mean, how's that experience been now plugging into the community of Caldas? And how's that been compared to what you thought it might have been like?
I'll say that I never could have imagined that I'd have this many friends and this kind of community, because you never had that in the US. You know, I was just like on a hamster wheel going as fast as possible. Like, I never took vacation, didn't take holidays. I was in the hospital and working when they were telling me, like, oh, you might have to have a major surgery, and it's like, I gotta have a meeting. And this is the kind of mentality, and it's great for making money, but it's not good for health or community. So I could never imagine, like, I would hang out with a select few people, but didn't have that many friends. And now here, it's like, now you have to be like, okay, I need to plan a day where I don't do anything and I don't hang out with people, because you always have the opportunity to hang out with people. It took us a little while to grow that. First, we had a lot of expat friends and stuff, and we weren't really plugged into the community here, the Portuguese. But going to Bordalo really was the gateway to that. And also, I think doing the band also has helped with that. Like, that's how we, got to What the Folk, Malaika. So I think also it's important if you come here, because a lot of people be like, I can't find a community here. And we were having, we had expat, but we weren't plugged into, we want to be, in the Portuguese community. And so I think if you just get out there, do something, whether it's some kind of art or sport or music or whatever, and then you'll start to make those kinds of connections.
And for you, with a family, with kids?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we have found the same exact thing, that we have way more friends here than we did in the US. It's really ironic. We were there for so long, and then we're here for a year and a half, and I feel like we have all these different communities that we're part of. So we have we obviously have like the parents and kids community that we are part of. You go into Dom Carlos Park, and there's, people playing on the playground, people just out with their kids, and so your kids will start playing together and you strike up a conversation, and that's really satisfying. And then, being a part of the band has been a fantastic way to meet people as well and just make connections. And Bordalu. So I feel like I have like kind of like the music community, I've got the parents community, and then just kind of some like ad hoc people here and there that we've met along the way that have been really friendly. And,
Yeah, and it's interesting because like you guys did something I think which is quite key. You walked into like a local bar. You walked into Bordalu, and a lot of people, I think sometimes when we come as expats, I've been here 16 years, and I think when we come as expats, we're kind of expecting people to walk out of their institution and say, come inside, come and see. The Portuguese aren't like that. But when you walk in, you'll get the best welcome, you'll get the best, and it's just interesting to see even a town like Caldas, which, like you guys said, they're not touristic, but we've never had so many different nationalities living in and around Caldas before. It's a real change. But the Portuguese are the ones that kind of are open to that, and they let that happen. Yeah. Like, what do you guys want to say about Portuguese people and your experience so far with meeting and
Yeah. Oh, I just find them so kind and warm, welcoming. Like, that was better than I could have expected.
Yeah.
In my experience.
My parents were just visiting for the birth of our second child, and one of the things that they remarked on, which I thought was really interesting, is my mom said, it seems like everyone looks very serious when you're walking by. People don't really say hello, and I think that is true. Like, there's a little bit of an exterior that can look kind of serious and a little intimidating, but it's just this sort of once you get past that, there's just like incredible warmth.
Yeah, and you get past it quite easily with a
exactly.
with a bom dia.
Just a few words and you're past it. But it can feel. I think it would be possible to just feel like you're not welcome or that people aren't friendly if you don't make an effort to get past that initial facade. Yeah.
If I have anything to add to that. I guess one thing I would say is the Portuguese people, obviously very friendly, that's what everybody's been saying. They also, to me, are very honest in terms of like, lived in the United States, everybody's sometimes trying to get over on you. And then we lived in Mexico, and for sure there's lots of things you have to be like, I don't know.
Why are you telling me that?
Yeah. And it's like, here, I haven't really definitely I have stories where it's like that person was dishonest. They were trying to get me for money. They were trying to do something. And it's like, I haven't really had any of those kinds of stories here. Everybody just seems very honest. If they say something, it's like you can pretty much trust it. And I've never had that feeling like, I don't know, I got to think about this. I have to size up this person and evaluate them to see if they're telling the truth,
Yeah, I grew up in South Africa, and if you met a stranger and that person had like a lot of questions about your life and about you were straight away like suspicious. Like, what's this? Why are you asking me all these things? And when I first moved here, and initially people ask you questions, they're like, okay, you're blonde, you're blue eyes, you're not from here. What are you doing here? Why are you here? Did you come alone? All this kind of stuff. And initially, I remember the first, like the South African sixth sense was like, why are you asking me that?
Yeah.
But then I just found that it was just curiosity. Mm-hmm. Why would you leave South Africa? And why would you choose our little village? And have you found that similar kind of curiosity where people are just really just honestly curious about the family and what you're doing here?
Yeah, and I've also had to shed some of my suspicious nature, and then also my desire. For some reason, I have this like compulsion to walk really fast. I think it comes from being.
You can't do that in Portugal, no.
And you come here, and I feel like you just have to learn to like walk a little slower. Just like really enjoy the walk a bit more. And you're not just trying to get to the next place. It's like my U.S. mentality.
And then you guys have been involved in Caldas Late Night. Now that doesn't get more. That's like something very, very unique in Portugal. People come from all over the country for Caldas Late Night. 2? You've done 2 now?
Because this gallery, when we got it, the goal was we're going to get it open in time for Caldas Late Night, and we did.
Yeah.
And then Seth and I were like, we're going to play a set, and that was kind of the grand opening for this place, and then I just fell in love with this Caldas late nights thing, just walking around and seeing
Stuff happening all
wonderful
over the
things
place.
happening in the streets and the late night music, and it's so fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got to play again this year at Juno, and the same week we did Malika, and then we played it at the Folk. We had a good time with Caldas late nights this year, and yeah, I'm part of the cult now.
You get that for being part of culture.
Yeah, you can if you want.
You can.
Oh, you
it's,
can.
it's the little house.
Yeah, I got my
The
Caldas
little
late nights
Late
cat.
night house.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I love it. It's one of the really cool things about Caldas.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is Caldas always has things going on. This is another thing that is just crazy to me. Like here in Portugal, like in the U.S., if you go see a ball game or go somewhere, go into a museum, go into something, they're like, "We got you." You go to the cafeteria, the prices are increased 100%. Whatever you want, it's increased 100% because you can't leave. We got you. It's right here.
Yeah.
Whereas in Portugal, it's like made for the family. One, if it's not free, which most things are free,
Yeah.
it doesn't cost that much. And then when you get inside, the cost of food or drinks is the same as it would cost at the cafe.
Yeah.
So it's really...
Yeah, I mean, Caldas late night is just incredible for me because I always think, and I go back to South Africa and I go, imagine trying to do this in the country that I'm from.
Yeah.
And I go back to like thinking of where I grew up in Johannesburg, and first of all, you could never just have like loads of stuff happening out in the street without any security,
Yeah.
without it all kind of gated and with ticket control. And then, I mean, we were, I don't know which night it was, but we just walked around Caldas for a couple of hours, and every corner there's something going on, and we didn't pay for it.
Yeah,
like you just
agreed.
go and you stand and you listen to a guy spinning decks, or you go listen to somebody singing, or whatever the case is, and then yeah, like you said, you go into the nearby restaurants and nothing changes. It's just come and sit down, have your drink, have your meal. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You want to play some music?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4. Now
Guys, thank you. We're going to start wrapping it up. Seth, what is one thing that you'd like people to remember and to take away from our conversation?
I would say that Portugal, I know that this is something that I would have found helpful when I was looking to come to Portugal, is there's no perfect place. Portugal's not perfect. You're going to have challenges. You're going to have stress as a result of trying to get here and living here, but it's such a great place to live, and I think that the positives far outweigh the negatives or the challenges that we have here. And for me, I love Portugal, and I think it's worth living here, and it's great.
Awesome. How can people follow you guys online? Hear your music, see what you're up to?
Yeah, so I have a YouTube channel. Right now it's still just Castor Bones, but I'm posting Castor Bones Collective stuff there, and when we have some of our own music that we've recorded together, it'll also be there. But as of right now, my YouTube channel is Castor Bones, so youtube.com/Castor Bones. And then also Instagram, Castor Bones. And also Linktree, Castor Bones, if you want to see a lot of older material that I have from other bands. So my Linktree just has links to other things like music videos and albums and stuff.
Awesome. A question that we ask all of our guests, and John, I'll ask you to answer. Portugal, the simple life. Why?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess I'll just talk from my experience, and it's a lot of things that we've said so far, which is just that it's a beautiful place with really warm people once you get past that that exterior, and just like a really strong community feeling here, really safe, really good for families, very artistic place, good for music, good for art,
Good for surf.
good for surf. Yeah, it's got a lot of great things going for it. We love it here.
Thank you so much, guys, for being on the podcast. It's been
Thanks for having
awesome.
us.
Thank you.
And I'm going to let you call it.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
So thank you once again to our guest, and thank you to all of you for listening. Please subscribe, share with your friends, give us a thumbs up, and please leave a comment or a review. We always love to hear from you. Don't forget, Portugal The Simple Life also has a magazine, so download it. It's for free. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode, and as we say in Portugal, sejas bem-vindo. Welcome to The Simple Life.